evening to us all. How are you? Merry Christmas. How was your day? Yesterday, how was it? Did you get a new clothes? How was the day? Did you enjoy it? Did you eat enough food? How was your day? Just let us know how your day was. This is Memove, finding the winner within once again before the year ends. Yeah, I'm here with a very wonderful team and I am grateful to be here with you guys. How are you?
We're good.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, how was yours?
My Christmas was really so wonderful. I had it with my family and it was so wonderful.
Thank you for not calling me. Like you know, I was not in my house and I didn't call me. How are you guys? How are you doing? My name is Nidi Kudz as usual. I'm so excited to be here as we're winding up the year. We have a lot we have learned from each other. So big up to you guys for always tuning in every Saturday.
Hello viewers, my name is Ax Solomon. I'm a mover. And I like to appreciate people watching us in different parts of the country, outside this country, people watching us on Facebook Live, YouTube. By the way, we have a wonderful audience on YouTube.
Yeah.
So if you haven't liked or subscribed to any media platforms in social media platforms of Rest TV, YouTube, Facebook, please do.
This is the time to
like the Facebook page. Chichitwalengas part of you. Like subscribe to our YouTube channel, watch me move, watch other programs. May God bless you. We're happy that we're here, joyous.
Yeah.
Oh, how are you people? How are you guys doing? It's another amazing day, and this is Grace Mapoliro again. Merry Christmas. Si vous nous suivez à partir de Bukavu, Congo, Bujumbura, Tanzania, seulement sache que c'est une autre bonne journée, une autre bonne soirée et vous n'allez pas regretter. It's a new day and we are so happy that you are watching us right now. Don't go away, stay tuned.
Well, this is Joya Sarah, and once again I want to thank you for tuning in. Please, if you're at home, call each and every one. This is the best way to have your Boxing Day, actually, to wind up the whole Christmas season as we get into the new year. We are so delighted to have you and we are going to learn from each other. The year is ending, and if you really followed our show last time, we were talking about goal setting. And if you didn't, I would like to actually inform you that you really missed out a lot, but not so much, because the video is still there on Facebook.
YouTube.
Please go and watch it, because what we are about to talk about is just a follow through of just exactly what we talked about last time. And so the year is ending. The year has been so challenging to many people. The year has been wonderful to other people. Personally, I have found the year so fruitful, and I thank God for that.
Wonderful.
And then to some people, it has really been challenging. But we are here to say that when the year ends, or as the year comes to an end, we thought it's important that we talk about how someone, as a person on an individual basis, sit back and think through how has the year been to you. Why has it been like that to you? Most people call it self-reflection, or you may say personal reflection. Many people do it, or some people actually do it. They say that most successful people do this, to sit back down and reflect upon yourself and look through what exactly has transpired, most so in a year or even in the week. So what we really want to talk about, what I want to introduce us to and my team, what I want us to take the people through, the viewers, please call each and every one to come and watch, because we are getting started, and this is exactly what you need to hear for the new year, or as you get into the new year. So I would like to start with me, because of course they said ladies first. When we talk about self-reflection or personal reflection, what would you tell our viewers? What exactly is your understanding about self-reflection?
All right, thank you, Joy. So I feel like this is a moment where you pay attention to your thoughts, you pay attention to your feelings, you pay attention to your emotions, you pay attention to your experiences, you pay attention to literally everything that you've gone through. That's if you've given yourself a period of time. And when we are looking in this scenario, we're saying like we are reflecting on the year, how the year has been. So this is when you just choose to sit down and I'm like, you know what? Some people go for, like you see sometimes companies go for, what are they called? Retreats. Some people go for yoga. I'm like, abaina sent bagenda for yoga. But like, let me pay attention. Then some others just have a pen and they'll be looking at their goals, the year resolution. They'll be like, okay, I'm reflecting on myself. So I feel like a reflection is like evaluation of how that period of time you've given yourself. And I feel like me, when I'm reflecting on myself, the things I pay attention to is my career, my relationships. Those things, if they're about me, they are things that I will pay attention to and see how far I have gone and where I am going. So me, when I'm reflecting, I look at the past and where I'm going, where I'm headed, the future. If I made a mistake in the past, how am I going to go about it in the next year? So that's how I understand this by self-reflection.
Okay, that's a very wonderful introduction. Yes. So
but I don't. But then I'm challenged. You know, when we're discussing about like, okay, we need to talk about self-reflection. I realize I don't reflect on myself, and then that's so tricky because sometimes, the same mistakes I made this year, they're going to recur again in the next year, and I'm stuck on one position. I'm not moving. So I feel like it is important. I'm going to do it this year, I promise.
So you recommend
it is important.
To do self-reflection.
Yeah, and then I need to start by myself because I wasn't doing it before.
Okay.
So it's a self-recommendation now.
Yeah.
All right, our dear viewers, for me, I believe, Joyous, that self-reflection or reflection, exactly, it's something that is always done by the friends of progress, because you're looking at where you are and where you want to be. So this is a critical analysis of oneself. You critically break down, like how she said, your emotional part of your life, your inner self, what drives you, because all the accomplishments we see physically are driven from within. Before you move out to go up, maybe to Kampala, you already have the plan that I want to go to Ham, pick this. I want to go to Chikubo, pick this. Pioneer Mall, pick this. Is no longer there, but
what you get. Means of transport am I using?
Why am I moving out? So personal reflection, like you look at a set of activities that have been transpiring in your life, and you also look at your strength, look at the weaknesses, opportunities, look at threats, how you vary performance. You say, how have I been performing? How can I better myself? So it is something done not by people who are redundant, but also some people who are so active, sometimes they forget that they need to better up their game, and they don't reflect. Like maybe you are saying that I've not been reflecting, but I'm somehow progressing. So some people are not doing it, but imagine, wonder if you were doing it. If you are reflecting, saying that, Joyous, this is my paper, I've done it like this is my percentage for now. Where are my weaknesses? Okay, this year I failed to save enough money. What are my weaknesses? Oizo banga gwakubide simu bakuita kabudewani. We had Java's KFC. Let me find you there. Let me find you there. Go. Did you see this coming? After like someone was showing after lockdown. Don't tell me time. Don't tell me anything. Tell me that we are here. Ready. Someone came dancing two, and then he started dancing. Okay, all you have to wait about you. Now they don't ask. They don't have a why. How? Why am I spending this money?
For what purpose?
For what purpose? How am I going to recover the spent money? How did I get this money in the first place before I do what?
And what was the purpose of
what was the purpose? Wale omusajja gwe batugamba yagenda n'atunda embuzi n'akomawo ng'aguza akabwa. A dog is something very important. You get? But when you don't have, by the way, Joyous, this is so wise, and I thank God for it, because the previous topic dives into this one. Because even in self-reflection, is when goals are
Also set.
you can set or reset.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we make goals and we just know that maybe we have gone past our limit. Or tugenze nnyo tuwabye. So you come back to yourself and say, no, I believe God for this. Maybe I was limiting myself. Let me expound. Let me make the pegs of my tent a little bit stronger, because the tent is becoming heavy. The responsibilities are doing what?
They're becoming many, yeah.
Okay.
Did you think in the first place that you needed business cards when you just started?
No, of course.
But
But
now
now-
I don't have the business card.
I also
Yes. Anyway, that's how I take it anyway.
Oh, thank you very much, Solomon. Man from Bukavu.
Oh,
So you should bring business cards before we start everything.
so it's my time to speak now. Oh,
Okay.
okay, so it was self-reflection.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm a drawing guy. I did TD and I'm an architect, so I'm so technical.
Okay.
So I really give so much information and communication through drawings than many words. So when you talk about self-reflection, when you talk about reflection, I just see a mirror. I like to see a mirror, looking in it, seeing yourself, your image right there. You describe it, how it is. If you looked at yourself last year, how was it? And how do you want it to be in the years to come? Or I can also say, when you say reflection, I see a bumped back light, like light that bumps in the glass and it comes back. So to you. So it's all about your own studies. You study about yourself. What do you know about yourself? What do you like? What do you want? Where do you want to be in this time of period? So it's all about studying and knowing yourself, knowing what you want, knowing where you want to be, knowing the values that are going to change you,
Sure.
yeah, for you to change the world.
Okay.
Like Mohammed said that. He said that yesterday I was clever. I wanted to change the world, but today I am wise. I'm changing myself. So you can't start changing the world
Before you
change
change,
yourself.
yeah.
Yeah, because everything starts from you and you spread it. So when we talk about that moment of self-reflection, so it's a moment that you take yourself studying your abilities, studying what you have in you that can change, benefit the world out there, the people around you. How did you change? How did you impact the world? And how do you want to impact the future?
Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Yesterday I was clever. I changed the world.
Yesterday I was
wise.
clever. I wanted to change the world.
I wanted to change the world.
Yeah.
Today I am wise. I want to
I want to
change
change
myself.
myself.
So, yeah.
I really like that. I really find it so fundamental. And there is something you talked about, the mirror. I really thank my team because I feel they've really given an elaborative explanation of what self-reflection is. And I think one thing I would like to add is that I look at what you said about a mirror. You know, a mirror reflects. In other words, when you stand before a mirror, it is going to bring to you your exact picture. What exactly you see is what is standing before you.
Yeah.
So when we say that a mirror reflects, and we are talking about self-reflection, we are now just getting you look into yourself the way you are, the way events are occurring, without any editing, without anything, without deleting.
Without any
You know?
deceit.
Just
Yes.
like what you're
No
saying,
less
I was
than much.
reading somewhere, it was telling me that before you go into self-reflection, before you look at yourself in the mirror and all those things, you need to set a tone of self-compassion. Why am I saying that? We need to understand that the world or whatever it is, the events had highs and lows. Because sometimes, imagine joyous, you look yourself through the mirror and you see the scars or the mistakes that you've made throughout the year. Some people can be hard on themselves. Because now, remember, when you're self-reflecting, it's like you've said, it's true. It is what it is. So now you on the mirror you're seeing the scar of where you fought with someone cut you. So that the memories get back to you that, oh, there's a time I was involved in a fight. I was such a bad person, maybe I was drunk. So sometimes we tend so much to beat ourselves because of the things that we have done, because of the laws. You'll be like, oh, how did I fail? Remember, we are looking at how the year has gone and what I've failed and what I've succeeded in. So if I look at myself like, how would I fail at something as simple as this? Okay. So it's always important that before you reflect, you need to set that compassion, self-compassion, so that you're not tough on yourself. You understand that, you know what, it is okay that I've failed. I'm appreciating it. Let me do something to make sure that I go off from where I fell off. Yeah.
Wow, thank you very much, Midi. And as we proceed, I just want to pose a question to our dear viewers. Once again, this is Memove, Finding the Winner Within, and we are talking about self-reflection. So I just want to pose a few questions to you who is viewing. How was your year? How has it been? What have been your strengths? What have been your weaknesses? How do you intend to go over your weaknesses? And how do you intend to build up on your strength? I just think these are questions. You may not necessarily type the answer in the chat, but just ask yourself these questions as you're getting into the year. What do you need to change? What do you need? I feel these are questions that we all need to ask ourselves. And actually, there is another person now wondering. They're talking about self-reflection. Is it really like they are wondering, do they need to just create a time off and say, now I'm seated, I am self-reflecting? Is it a kind of activity that someone has to prepare time for, or it's just...
For someone like me who was not, you know, there are people, like I was telling you, there are people that go for retreats just because they want to do a company reflection. Okay. There are people that go and pay money for yoga, and then they go and they have a yoga, what do they call them, a yoga instructor or something like that.
But what is yoga?
They are, don't you know that they're yoga instructors? People go on mountains, they be dramatic like that, they go on like mountains and then they with their mats, and then like someone is telling them, okay, reflect, relax. Someone is saying like,
it's
so
a deep meditation.
Meditation, yes. So it depends. But I think me, for starters, I'm not going to. I'm just going to be like at my home and then chill and reflect on myself.
So what you're trying to say, that someone can be home
and reflect on themselves, yes.
Okay, that's really wonderful. And what if there is someone who feels they want maybe to take a walk? I don't know.
Yeah. That also is another.
Like you walk around?
Yes. Like someone. Yeah, there are people who feel.
You know, it depends. It's like how people read. There are people who read with music. There are people who want to be in a library. So it's like, me, I can't think when I'm in a noisy place like in the streets.
Okay.
Like I really need for me to be sitting down and reflect on myself. So I think it also depends. Someone might want to have a stroll and move in the streets and reflect on themselves. So I think it depends with someone's character. Yeah.
What I think is having a self-reflection, it's not a thing just we have to do in the end of the year, but it's something you have to do. It's not that you have to do, but you can be doing every after some time, you know. Some just you take that time when you're alone, you think about yourself, you just pause everything and you see where I'm from and where I am right now, whatever I achieved.
You analyze the journey.
Yeah, you analyze the journey. You just take that time for yourself, think about yourself, just forgive everybody, just keep them out for a moment, and you think about your life. It's not just you have to do it in the end of the year, but it's something that can be doing like every time.
You haven't answered Joyce's question. How do you reflect? Do you move? Do you sit? Do you write?
He hasn't answered, and I think he was driving to that. So what he has talked about is also very important.
So there is something I want to bring in line with what Grace was, to come back to your question, what Grace was bringing out. Because you see, as I said in the first place, that reflection, in most cases, it's done after a couple of activities have been going on.
Yes.
We all know corporate companies here in Uganda. In times like this, even in November, December, they always call their employees, maybe to Serena, Chigo, where like they call them inside, like they have dinner, they talk, they award, they read through how they have been performing.
Some do quarterly, like what we're saying.
Yeah, what you say. Some like in between the year, in the course of the year, they do them. So they analyze have you been seeing when you go to, for example, to KFC and you see employee of the month, employee of the, like, you see, like they sit down, and so now it may not go back to the company, but it goes back to the person who has been like put there as the award holder. Like you reflect, how was my performance? Really, do I deserve this? How better can this be done? It also goes back.
You said something very nice. They say that self-reflection is not a do-over. It is a do-better situation.
Yeah.
So I was just saying,
yeah, that's
something some people
it's not a do-over,
but it's a do-better situation.
Yes.
That's a nice insight.
Yeah.
Can you break down for some of us who find
Please break that down.
It's not just when you're self-reflecting on yourself. It's not like you are telling yourself to start over again. Let me say you set a goal. You say I want to make these popcorns, and then I stop at putting cooking oil in the saucepan. The year has ended when I've not even switched on the stove. I've not put the corns inside to pop them. So when I'm reflecting on myself, it doesn't mean that I have to put another cooking oil in the pot, because already there is where I stopped. So it's not a do-over, but it's a do-better. Next time I should remind myself, you know what? For these popcorns to pop, I need to switch on the stove. Exactly.
Wow.
So it's a do-better, not a do-over situation.
It's a do-better, not a do-over.
That's really, really wonderful.
So yes, I was still coming by the way.
Okay. I was just giving some credit to our viewers. I can see Nabire Gloria is watching.
Wow, she's our
Thank you very much for tuning in. She's always here watching. Let's continue. Please continue to share your views. Call each and every one in the house.
Call them in.
Today we are listening to this, and we are living when we've learned
but
a lot.
A lot of learning. So, so Joyous, your question was like, how do we reflect? That's one way, and it's in the corporate world. Who are in the corporate world? We people. So they sit down and analyze. Even these workers, always those like retreats, they are challenging, because you sit down and you see how late you have been coming to work, and you say, no, why me? Like you see your strength, you analyze your weakness, you see the threats. That my coming late is brought by this jam. Maybe my coming late, I have poor time management. I don't wake up in time. So you get. So you reflect and see. Grace, what you brought up is also practical and technical.
Actually,
because the mirror will never present something deceitful. What you see is the reality.
What's standing before
and the reality is not your definition. You can do better than that.
Of course.
So the concept of self-compassion there comes in, and you say, no, this is not me. I'm a better person. In fact, I can wake up late. I can wake up early.
Exactly.
I can wake up early. I can start strong. I can save this money. I can stop going to everywhere. There are some people that are called Mr. Everywhere. We went in Funa.
You know, Solomon, as you're presenting, something has actually come back to me. I have my big brother. He's called Engineer Moses. In his home, his bed was he really invested in it, because he says, you know, the bed should really be the most comfortable place to him, because it is where he lays to think about each and everything. It's where his plans. He thinks.
It's where we dream.
Actually, and it's now that it's coming to me that some people find it easier to self-reflect when they are late on the bed. Yes, when they are chilling in the night, very early in the morning, and just like you've talked about the way companies do it, they evaluate and see who is our employee of the year and all this. Some people, as we say, love to take walks, and actually some people love nature. I don't know if does any of us here love nature? I think you'd be the best person to tell us what about nature, because if there is someone who feels they can, if they are near nature, they feel like life relaxed. Yes, they feel it relaxed.
Actually, nature is always a message to the mindset. When you get somewhere where there is nature books, you will feel like even the sound of the birds are talking to you. When you're looking through the water, you feel like it's cleansing your memory. When you look at the wood, you feel like it's really, you know.
Even wood.
Yeah, you know, everything that surrounds you feel like it's bringing you where you can't get when you're with other people, or when you're seeing concrete and bricks. Yeah, it's really different. So it's better, it's good, it's nice for some people, like me also.
Just
being
need
in
a
such
soft
a
drink.
place. Yeah.
Because this is soft discussion. What I believe, Grace, as you're saying that, the reason as why some people, we people love nature. Sometimes when you're seated by lectures, many times the silence in nature speaks volumes about our lives. And nature is so real. Nature is not deceitful. Like you'll see stones deposited on the beach, at the beach. And some of those stones will never go back. But their beauty is exposed. You get? So they went from the lake to the beach. But at the beach they are picked and took to, ministers' houses. Those softs. We have even them here around. So nature is real. Nature reflects who you are, who you really are, your purpose. Yeah, that's why it's,
Because,
it's one of the ways to go.
Natural things are really even healthy.
Yeah, sure.
I was designing a landscape, and it was a commercial place. Now, I didn't think that having grass and trees was so important, because people were just coming and going. Now, when I took the plans for approval, I found architects there. Now, they asked me, "Where is your greens?" And I said, "We don't need greens here. It's just a commercial place. People just come and go." And they told me, "You don't need greens for what you see. It's healthy. What you breathe. You can't be going to work. You are in a shop from morning to evening. You are breathing concrete and bricks. You need grass. You need trees around you. It's also healthy. It even relaxes your..."
Whenever you look at it,
Yeah,
being blown by wind.
Yeah, even the breathing. So it's really good to be where the nature is the most for self-reflection.
Thank you very much,
Yeah,
Grace, for this.
to nature.
As you people discuss, you keep triggering
I fear when you call
very
my
many
name.
Why?
I
You
don't know
should
if I have
really
an
fear,
answer.
because you have to give us this explanation.
Yeah.
There is someone actually who is saying we are talking about walking, we are talking about going to nature, maybe going to the beach, listening to the birds, laying on the bed and all this. And there is someone who is actually saying they never even get time for themselves. Like literally they always have to work. How can this person reflect about themselves if all the time they have to be working, outside work, they are at home maybe caring for their children or family? How would you really help this person?
I feel like, how does that person live? Because if the person works, that means at work there's some evaluation that is going to go on. Even in your own relationship at home, if you're married, you and your partner, there is an reflection that is supposed to be done. Even with your children.
But have you understood
your
the
question?
scenario?
So I feel like, even if you don't have time to go to the beach and all those things, just have your journal somewhere, your book, your pen somewhere, and write. Even if it's not like that, I feel like sometimes you and your mind can have the best conversation in life. You and your mind, even if you don't have, even if you're driving, you're eating, just reflect.
Okay.
Your mind and yourself can have the best reflection of your life that you'd want. That doesn't even need a beach or something.
In that they need this clue that, as you say, they should not be too hard on themselves. Because imagine you are on the steering, you are in jam, and then you are realizing that there is a mistake you did. So don't be so hard on yourself, as you are just making it so personal, not going anywhere, but you are enclosed.
Wow.
Be calm. Realize that the mistakes you did don't define you.
Okay, wow. Thank you very much, Grace. I can see Grace has, I understand this is a really critical topic to you.
So am I going to talk?
You are going to talk, but just to brief our dear viewers, this is Memove, finding the winner within, and we decided as the year is ending to talk about self-reflection. And right about now, before we go for our break, we have been talking about what exactly is self-reflection. Why is it necessary? Why do you need it? Why do I need it? And how exactly can someone go about with it? And my team here has been outlining very important topic, very important views, very important scenarios, how you can actually self-reflect. And just a recap, you can write down, you can, lay on your bed and just mirror into yourself. You can get a journal, yes. You can do it through nature, viewing nature, and just think about yourself, self-exercise, self-evaluate yourself. That is an exercise. And just as we go for our break, this is Memove, finding the winner within. Please call each and every one in the house to come and tune in, and please share the link. See you then. Good evening, our dear viewers. Good evening once again. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Yes, it is really a very wonderful time. It is a beautiful evening. Please notify each and every person that had shifted to come back, because we are back in yet another session talking about self-reflection. This is Memove, finding the winner within. Oh yeah, before we went for the break, we had outlined a few things about self-reflection. What exactly does self-reflection mean? And as I was going through our Facebook page, I can see someone is really asking that you're talking about self-reflection, but what exactly? I am not understanding. And I would just like to give a little recap. That we say self-reflection is asking yourself questions, looking at yourself and the prevailing circumstances, and you ask yourself questions. Which questions we are yet to look at? But look at yourself, look at the circumstances you have been in. Usually people do it over a year, others do it weekly, others do it after a certain occurrence. But you ask yourself, yes, Joyous, when I look at myself in the mirror, I see there is this. I see I didn't answer well to this person here. I see here I did so well, here I didn't do well. Why did I do well here? And why did I fail in the other aspect?
Yes, you can even tell these people that, self-reflection is you study.
Yes, like
you study who you are.
You study. And yes, we are yet to kick in. Thank you very much for your views and keep them coming. Thank you very much. I can see Dombo Elijah. Welcome back from school.
I know by the way, as our vibrant viewers,
because he has been at school and now he's back. Now I can see he's actually here.
Thank you so much for watching the Dombo family.
Okay, yes. So now
they are ardent supporters.
I know.
All right. So anyway, before I went for the break, because after explaining this, I believe if you have not really understood, I would just pray you just keep watching over and over again, even after the show.
Revisit on YouTube, Facebook.
Exactly, because this is something we all need. So before we went for the break, we had talked about all this and what self-reflection is. And then someone is wondering, if you're saying looking at me, what questions do I ask myself? Because I believe when we look at these questions, someone will be able to relate. Because these are things that have really happened.
Yeah, sure.
Me now, when I'm reflecting on myself, I ask myself questions, of which the questions, they also differ on what situation I'm looking at. I remember when I was starting the show, I was saying sometimes I reflect on my relationship, I reflect on my career, I reflect on my goals, I reflect on different scenarios.
And now we want to know
that's
how do you reflect on them? Okay.
So when I'm under goals, I ask myself, what have I achieved my goals this year?
Okay.
Or have I accomplished the goals that I set this year? That's the first question I'm asking myself. Or before I even ask myself, have I accomplished them? I'm going to ask myself, what were my goals this year? That's the first question.
That's a good question.
I'm already evaluating myself. By the time I realized that I had not set any goals, then I'll be like, it was a driverless car.
Okay.
You starting a year without goals, it's like it's a car that has no driver and then naturally
like a car without a steering, like a steering.
It has no driver.
Or without a destination.
Yeah, destination, exactly. So the first question you ask yourself when it comes to goals and achievements, like what you've set for yourselves, the objectives of your year, you ask yourself, what did I have goals this year? And if I did not have, then what goals do I want? Because when you're self-reflecting on yourself, like I said before, it is not a do-over, but it's a do-better. So that means if I did not have goals, then let me write my goals down. That's the first question I ask myself as I'm reflecting. Yeah.
Me, one major question I see that is so crucial. You ask yourself, how were you able to, to challenge yourself to grow?
Okay.
For example, in this year, it has been having challenges, that we all know. But growth is a continuous process.
Yeah.
Growths are like
Growth. Yeah. It's alright.
Growth.
Okay, growth. Growth happens in adversary and it happens even in jubilant moods.
Yeah. True.
You get it?
First breakdown, because now some of us
Like, for example,
that English.
some people are going through tough situations.
They grow.
They grow.
Yes.
Like some people are forced by tough situations to blossom.
Yes. True.
Some people are persecuted and then they become kings, they take over thrones. And some people, like in jubilant situations, they still grow. So you have
Meaning, like in this COVID period, there are people who have been forced to grow.
to grow. Exactly.
We have
People have
grown.
grown. This
We have
program
grown.
came out.
Yes.
You get people have started doing businesses you even never thought that would emerge. People started making sanitizers.
I started cooking in my kitchen. That was
get-
growth now.
People started inventing masks. Some masks that first came on the market were not all that comfortable.
It was
But people baziza bu nostrils one mazi kulane zibazizanga, but do you see now these ones with plastic? With plastic parts for breathing. So they make the process like of enjoying or of protecting against COVID-19 more easy.
Yeah.
So how you challenge yourself to grow even in adversary, even in tough situations.
So the question
Like
here
determined.
is,
So-
how have I enabled myself to grow?
Grow like
Question,
you even challenge, because it comes as a challenge. Sometimes you may be found in a settling mood. You are some people don't think they have to grow, yet they have to grow. They have to do whatever it takes to see that they grow. Because, and why growth? As you proceed in life, when you refuse to grow, bigger responsibilities will find you when you don't have the capacity to handle them.
Yeah. Wow.
So you have to grow. Say that the process finds you moving. Bigger responsibilities, bigger muscles.
True.
I am really loving this. Meaning, one question our dear viewers that Solomon has posed to us, me inclusive, is, did you find yourself in a position to grow this year? Yeah. I think that's what you mean, right?
Sure.
That's a very, very good question. I'll answer myself. You can also answer yourself wherever you
Comes
are.
back to us.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to
guys,
type in our chat.
okay. Okay, talking about self-reflection, I'm seeing some challenges. When we're in the break, self-reflection is like a sit back, then you look through your life. Like you can be watching the movie, when you're watching the movie and when they're acting and you are saying, no, I wish they did this, I wish they did this, I wish they went back like that. So if you could just get yourself out of your life and put it there like a movie, then you start watching it.
Or you rewind. And then you rewind and come watching again.
Then you start saying what you did wrong, what you did right, you wish you would change that. I think that could drive someone to even to bring some solutions on what you couldn't work on before. But the challenge is, as I said, self-reflection, for me, I take it as a sit back. But according to the environment that we are in, there are some people who don't understand that. Like, we may be having your spouse, you may be having your girlfriend, your friend, your parents, but when you want to take that time for yourself, that short time for yourself to think about your life, they will think maybe you are avoiding them, maybe there's something that goes wrong.
But you have to be dramatic about it when you're self-reflecting, and so that your partner doesn't even have time to access you. Is it necessary?
No, we need time for yourself. It's time for yourself.
I think that's like,
tell them, I need
just
time.
like we say that when you stand in the mirror, what it is what you see. So just understand that scenarios differ.
Isn't it?
Okay.
You know why I say that? You know why I say that?
Well,
it's so hard. It's so hard to see your life. Yeah, you see everything about your life when you're still in. You know,
how
people,
about
people
when
say
you
that,
sit down with your partner and you ask
you know why people say that love is blind?
I'm asking you.
Maybe I think Grace.
No, I don't want him to finish and then I forget what I want to ask. I want him to answer me as he's answering his point. That how about instead of you chasing your partner away and then you solve on things that you do not know? Because sometimes when you're self-reflecting in a relationship, how do you reflect in a relationship that involves two people and you are alone? So I'm saying, how about when you're reflecting in scenarios of a relationship where you don't have to like go on a retreat for 3 months or for 3 days without your partner? How about when you sit down with your partner, you go to a retreat together and ask him, my love, how was I this year? How many times did
I think it's self-reflection. Even
Grace,
when
let me at least help. I think yourself, you're saying self-reflection. Self, it's not selves. It's
your
singular.
self-evaluation.
It means it is self. It goes back to you as a person. It's very possible for me to sit down. I am in a relationship with him, yes, but I can. What Grace is saying is that you can get to this side, look at the relationship. You as a person, study it. Because most times you know what you deserve.
How about the statement that says we know ourselves from the people that we hang around?
Well, that can be held for a different discussion. But right now, I think what basically we are talking about is that it's very usual, it's very normal.
I don't know why they are shunning away my point. I know you get where I'm coming from. They even say sometimes joyous. No, even if we know ourselves, but they also say that people that you are around, they also know you.
Let me tell you.
But you cannot know yourself through the people because maybe.
But you some point you do. Guys, I'm not saying you're not supposed to reflect on yourself on your own, but sometimes you don't know the mistakes you are making in a relationship unless your partner tells you that yes, you're making a mistake A, B, C, and D. So even if you're reflecting on yourself, it is also important that you hear what your partner has to say about your behavior.
That reflection is also there, but it is not self. Self is singular.
Yeah,
you as a
I've accepted that. But
should I tell you something? Should I tell you something?
I've also accepted that.
Self is singular, but sometimes some goals to be achieved.
You need someone's opinion.
Things like surrounding you matter. We can't be in the same team of like football team. When I'm playing going this side, and when I put the ball there, like on the line, you kick it out.
And then I don't listen to what other players. That's why we have coaches and spectators. They'll tell you Joyous played like this in the match, played like this.
Now after the coach is telling me,
then I
go back myself.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
And that's what we are also saying.
Guys, I don't know why sometimes you guys shun my points before even
we are not shunning, but I feel it's bringing confusion.
No, it didn't bring. You've confused yourself. What I'm saying is, before you go to somewhere and like look on yourself before, first hear the things what your partner has to say about you. The same way a coach tells his players.
Guys, listen.
Is after you have already finished that part. Self is after you've passed all those things. Yes, I have talked with my partner.
Every moment need a time of pause in
the gross turbulence in growth is caused by people failing to work as a team.
Bando, thank you for getting my point. We call it something else.
You can work as a team. Now let's first rectify this. If much as I am working with us here, we shall meet and talk about the things that we need to know about as Memove. And after we have met, when I go back myself,
you go and reflect on yourself.
Yes, outside you
That's
guys.
what we are talking.
And that's what
But
Grace
you can
is
list
saying.
not what you have reflected about yourself personally, like at
If
your
you-
level. If you don't,
you don't first come
impact
to us, you get.
That scenario is
What
there.
I'm trying to say is, self-reflection, it's yourself. You're taking yourself out
We didn't
of the
deny
road.
that. We
you
didn't
get it?
deny that.
I
Yeah.
think let's
So
finish
the challenge that I
the
was
point
talking
I'm
about is, like I have my girlfriend. She tells me, babe, I really need time for myself. I need this some time to think about some stuff in my life. Now, for me, I would think maybe she has a problem. I would think maybe there's something that is going on in
Maybe
her
she's
life that
dating
I don't
someone
know.
else.
Because we are not used to that. Actually, that happens to me. Yeah? She told me, no, I need some time alone. You get it? Now, the challenge is the people around us, they don't understand it. You understand? So, my question was, how should we do it for the people around us to understand it when we take that time for ourselves? Because that time is really needed for every person. You take yourself back and you look through your life when you're out of it.
Okay, to me, I love simplifying things in life. I am not going to say that self-reflection is an event that I'm going to wait to get time. Like even if I am seated here on Memove and we are discussing, she is going to say something, and within my mind, as we continue, I'm going to actually think about what she has said and say, or like what I'm trying to say is that self-reflection, if you have people who will not understand it, is not necessarily that. Grace, you asked a question and now you're
I'm listening.
Okay. All right. It's not necessarily an event that you have to create this time, but self-reflection is you getting back to yourself, asking yourself those questions. Like we talked about, I told you about my brother who really loves thinking from his bed.
Invested in their bed, yeah.
Exactly, because at that point you may even be laying beside your wife, but in your head you are reflecting, you are thinking through things. And the other example, many people who drive, I am sorry, people have said I'm over talking about my family, but
No. Don't worry.
yes, I have a very good example. My dad always says when he is driving, he'll find himself, when he's driving, he's alone in the car. He is going to begin praying. He begins to look at the different things. He evaluates the different things that are going around. And that's just one other way. That's just one other way of self-reflecting. But Grace, you really took us on a different course, and we were looking at the questions. One would
What I
ask
believe
themselves.
really as Midi's stand was, it's not that I'm siding with her, but sometimes as we reflect at a personal level, the self, but also the self sometimes it's influenced by other several factors surrounding the self. So the self, however much it reflects, it has also to mind about the other variables around its
That
life.
was the question that I asked.
Yeah.
Now. That's understanding. How do you make someone understand that I need this time, I need to take this time for myself? Because people really need that. You have to sit back and think about your life.
Because sometimes the self-evaluation can be done by a whole team, a whole team, you as sitting personally.
No, it can't.
Like the example I gave you about the employee of the month in, for example, KFC. We are not making an advert by like we are sorry KFC.
I really
This
feel like
person can't make it by his own, like at his own. It's a team that So
it's
maybe
very
I'm
confusing.
throwing out my mind on behalf of someone out there.
It's
I
just
don't know
that we didn't allow Grace to finish his point. But me, I had really picked it up so fast. Grace said, when you are going to carry out a self-reflection, you're going to carry yourself out of what you're in, put yourself aside, and now start to reflect as a person. In other words, we think as Memove. If I'm going to reflect about myself, I'm going to get myself outside Memove and come out here and look at Memove from this angle where I alone, I am me. I am out of it. That's what he was saying. If I'm in a relationship with someone, I'm not going to sit and tell them, honey, I want us to think about this. No, I am going to get myself aside as me and look at our relationship. What are my strengths in this relationship?
That is why even when you break up in a relationship, it's when now you start seeing the wrong thing that the person had in his life. When you are in it, you could not see it. But you went out of it, you can now just see the relationship.
That's why some people going back where they were like.
No. So if you could get that time yourself of moving out of it for a minute or for an hour and see it in another perspective, you understand? I think you could even get solutions.
Can I ask you a question before you go on? If you did something to do with SWOT analysis, they tell you when you are a business person, when you're running a SWOT analysis, when you're checking at your strengths or your weaknesses, you look at what your competitors, how they are performing. Joyous, I'm sure you've studied that somewhere, SWOT analysis. If you want to look at your strengths, you don't measure your strengths, you as you, but you look at your competition, and you know that me, the reason why I'm saying I have a strength, it is because what I have, if it's Pepsi and Coca-Cola, for Coca-Cola to come out and say I am stronger than Pepsi, that's when Coca-Cola says,
maybe even in advertising.
yes, my advertisement is stronger than
The
Pepsi.
flavors, the content.
That is very right.
So that's what I'm saying. I can't say that I've made Joyous happy unless Joyous tells me you have made me happy. You know, before I go somewhere and ask my partner that I want some time to think alone, you guys, where a point where it's not my personal goals, it is a relationship of two people. Before I go somewhere to sit and reflect on my own, it is important that I know where I might have hurt my partner without knowing that I've hurt him. He also needs to tell me that, you know what, you have not made me happy, you have pissed me off, you've done A, B, C, and D. I can't go and reflect on things that my mind thinks are right, and yet my partner doesn't think like that. So I feel like it is important before I go to think on my own, to self-reflect. When I'm asking my partner, it's like an evaluation. I'm not reflecting.
Because no man is an island.
It's not even a reflection of myself. It's not like what my partner is going to say is the final word. No. I'm just asking to know, in case if I didn't make my partner happy, when I'm alone reflecting, looking at myself in the mirror, I should ask myself, so since my partner said that I did not make them happy, what am I supposed to do now to make them happy? That is a self-reflection on my own. So it is important for me to ask my partner what they think about that relationship before I do what? Even evaluation, the company calls you and asks
you won't find what is wrong before
you ask. You know,
so you have
get where my point was.
First do
ask your partner.
No, you can't ask them first. You have to first go through the relationship and see what you think was wrong. Then I go for self-reflection.
Yes, that's what my point was.
Yeah.
Even if
then
it's a
come
company,
back.
even if it's a company, it first ask you,
This is what I believe.
even a company asks you, how do you think you've performed this year? A company calls you and asks you those things. How has been your performance? How do you think you've performed? Appraisals and all those things.
So
and our dear viewers, this is Memo, finding the winner within, and we are still talking about self-reflection. The year 2020 is ending and we are entering into 2021. And what I just want us to pose to ourselves as we ask ourselves, 2020 has ended, the year has ended. You are entering into another year. When we talk about self-reflection in regards to how the year has moved, how the year is yet to come, we want to ask ourselves, what exactly am I taking along with me in the next year? What am I cutting off? Where am I cutting it off? When I'm entering the next year, which people am I entering the next year with?
Right.
Which people am I cutting off? Because you may find that some people are not really needed.
I saw your status.
I saw your status. I was about to say that. I saw your status. You're like,
no, it's just important, yeah, not in bad. But as the year ends, this is what we are talking about. Those questions, yeah. 2020 has ended. I have looked at myself. I have looked at the strengths I have, the weaknesses I have, the challenges I've had, how I can go about them. And it still goes back to community. Which people am I moving along with? Yes, where am I still continuing with this relationship? If it's the job, is it still really helping you earn? And if it is, how are you going to build it up and all that? That is just.
Let me bless this food. Father, bless this food in Jesus' name I pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Yes, that's just a recap of what we are talking about, self-reflection. So Midi.
No, Joyous, before Midi comes in, I believe whatever is coming out of you people, you people are representing someone out there
of course,
who has these questions on mind. And you may think maybe you are diverting from him and he's diverting from you, but you are representing someone who didn't know like anything about this. So whenever we're here, I believe you are being here because the reason that's why we are here, we want us to have a better 2021. You get it? 2021, a better one. Reflect, set goals, be realistic, and do something about what you have been doing. Like analyze whatever has been happening in your life. By the way, I still want to welcome young people our 31st service at Kansanga Miracle Center. Yeah, I feel it. Just I welcome you to come and fellowship with us. There is ending. We need to fellowship. Thank God. We need to be thankful. It's time to be thankful. So I welcome you. 31st December, please. Like the page Kansanga Miracle Center Church on Facebook, YouTube. Subscribe and follow the service live.
Okay.
What I want to tell somebody right now, as I told you, that happened to me. Someone told me, no, I want to take my time. I want to be alone for a moment. And I felt like maybe I did something wrong to this person. Maybe she's going through something she doesn't want me to know. So it was really a hard time for me to understand that it's just normal for someone to take that time and think through the life or what she's going through or he's going through. Now, as my question was, how am I overcoming that? And what I'm telling you, telling our viewers today is that you have to understand that. Actually, if you have your partner, sometimes I ask them, did you even take some time to just think through your own life? Like, you go alone to the pool, go alone to the lake, and just think about your own life without anybody. You understand? People should understand that it's a normal thing that everybody needs. So when someone tells you that I want to take that time, don't take it personal. Don't take it as if the person, there's something wrong with the person. It's just something that we need in our life.
Okay, thank you very much, Grace.
But does it bring a feeling of independence within this person who wants to be alone?
It's not an all life thing. Like you take a day. You can take a day. You don't need a month to think about yourself or your life. You can take a day somewhere. Why? That is.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I've been with you the whole year. If I can take a day just for myself thinking, I think people just have to understand that.
Midi, what do you have to say to someone? Because I believe there are people after having listened to this show and all that, because you're in the working part. You are working, you do food. So I want you to still talk to someone who feels they can't really find time. That people really don't find time. And it's really sad. Someone wakes up in the morning, goes to work, comes back, attends to their family, and it's a routine day after day. What would you really say to this person? Because at the end of the day, that bridges up. It collects up depression. You find that someone is depressed. Why? Because they can't sit down to evaluate issues, and see how to go over them.
I can never tell someone that I can't force them to create time for yourself, but this is the advice I'm going to tell you. Once you serve something that does not, or once you focus on things that don't serve you, you're not going to have space for growth or for new opportunities in your life. So what do I mean? Self-evaluation is very much important because what does it do? It creates space and it removes unnecessary things in your life. So sometimes, like you were saying, that even when the year is coming to an end, there are some things you need to say, you know what, I am done. So if there's someone who is watching us from out there and they don't give time to themselves to reflect on themselves and how the year has gone or how that period has gone, then you're not doing yourself justice because you're not giving yourself time for new potential. Because imagine if you look at your year and you be like, but Grace has been so dormant in my year. I don't need Grace in my life. It's just an example.
Why are you using Grace?
Okay, Solomon has been so dormant in my life. Imagine if you ask yourself such a question. I will not need Solomon in my life again. Because like Solomon said, I don't know if for the Solomon OGS that we need growth in life.
It was me.
And once you don't grow, you are limiting yourself from very many things. It's the same way if you don't self-reflect on yourself and you tell yourself what is necessary and what is not necessary, then you're denying yourself new potentials. So always give yourself time and make sure that what is serving you or what you serve is what is supposed to be yours, not to just have everything. You go with everything.
Well, what?
It's not necessary.
Have you guys read or heard about the starving baker? The starving baker.
You also like that thing.
The starving baker. Actually, this bread, is this a bread? It's very nice, man. Where did you get it from?
So you want me to make an advert for some?
Okay, the starving baker. This guy was he was baking. He was so good at baking. But every time he used to make good stuff for people. People could come there every time. They say, that guy can bake, that guy can bake. But the guy could not rest. He could not eat on what he bakes. Yeah? So, for him, instead of being healthy, he was just turning back, like he was getting mediocre. You understand? Yeah. So people were happy with what he's doing, but himself, it was killing him inside. So people should understand that if you don't bring something from you, if the change can start from you, then you are bringing.
Please say that to someone, a viewer out there, as you end that show.
Okay, viewers, what I'm trying to tell you is, stop being starving bakers. You can't bake good things for other people, yet you can't even bake one for yourself. You'll find yourself being depressed. You know, you are working, you know, you are making money, but your health, what do you think about?
I'm on the second run now.
It feels good to tap yourself on the back sometimes. It feels good.
No, but because this always happens at home. This always happens at home because I know the starving baker story. Me, when it tells me to serve people. Okay, I start by serving myself. I keep my food.
Wow.
Then I serve it.
That's why I don't like that story of the starving. I know it's repercussions.
I'm not eating at your home.
And my dad always asked, because we are two. We used to serve food, me and my brother. My other brother can serve everybody, and the food gets done there, and he starts complaining, man, I didn't eat that. Do you have something in the fridge that I can get, you know? But me when I serve, I first serve myself because you guys, if I'm not happy serving you guys, I will not serve you tomorrow. So I make myself happy.
That happens when you
then
serve.
Tomorrow I will serve you.
So wow, Grace says do not be a starving baker. Solomon, how are you winding the show?
So for me, first and foremost,
Actually, the
we are still facing this pandemic, and you know it's strange. So we advise everybody, first of all, to follow the SOPs.
Are you following them right?
We are, because we know we are checked and we are certified. All of us are good, but continue following the SOPs. Wear your masks. You take ginger, lemon, and that. So on this bit of the show.
Okay.
Yes, please. Know who you are. Know who you are. Pursue your dreams. Reflect on a daily basis. After every activity, look into it critically. Assess your performance. Ask yourself questions. If you feel so depressed and you're at the wall, try counseling. You get it? Because some people will say, I've tried everything, but I'm at the wall. I've talked to everybody, but I'm at the wall. Try professional counselors. But otherwise, I feel you are limitless. You can achieve that dream, you can save that money, you can buy that piece of land, you can finish that degree, you can progress in life.
Wow. Thank you very much, Solomon. Thank you very much. It has been a really wonderful team. Our dear viewers, we are so delighted to have had you this evening. This was the best way to actually conclude your Christmas season and enter into the new year. Yeah, as we conclude, thank you very much for being part of this, and we are still serving each other. I really love when we talk about self-reflection. I really, personally, even outside that, I love studying the life of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. You'll find that when you read the Bible, Jesus used to really separate himself on very many occasions. He would separate himself and then look at the will, what his Father wishes him to do, and evaluate himself how he is actually doing. There are so many times he used to leave his disciples and go and talk to God, talk to himself, and I believe also meditate. As the year ends, it's very important when you look at yourself. We posed so many questions to you, and I think the epitome of it all is, as you enter 2021, what exactly do you need to carry along with you? Some people may be baggage, some things may also be baggage.
Yeah.
What people do you need to leave behind? What activities and things do you need to leave behind?
Yeah.
Once again, we would like to wish you a really happy New Year. This is Memove, finding the winner within.
Until
Same
next year.
time, same day, each
We
and
love you.
every time we shall serve you here on Race TV. Please share the link. We love you so much.
I love
See
you
you
so
next
much.
year.
Adios.